Okay, time to fix this Joker mount. This is made by Joker. It's a really nice mount. It's all CNC and everything. But it's made for speedometer. And the speedometer and attack on Harley Davidson are exactly the same diameter and depth. But the issue is that when you mount it on the bike, goes that way on the speedometer, you turn it on the other side, it goes that way. Well, that little notch is where your wires come out, and they come out of the bottom and they plug in right there. So what I'm gonna do is, this is just screwed on with 2 screws and I tap through, so I think I'm just going to unscrew those screws, take that mount, flip it over to there, which will flip this upside down and put this on the bottom, and that'll do it. I know, boring as hell, but that's what I'm going to do. They don't make one, so I'm going to make my own. Okay, so I have to flip that mount over to the other side. Well, right there is the end of that wing that says Joker. So if I lay this right there on that, it comes to just the tip of that wing. So when I put that on the other side, I'm going to put that there, just touching that wing and touch the mount. Should keep everything centered. We'll see. Okay, there's the 2 existing holes on that side of the Joker emblem. Oops, turn it up, right side up. And there's my 2 holes on the other side. Yeah, they're a little bit lower than the other ones. They're not quite centered, but it's square with it. It just slipped, I guess, when I marked it, but no big deal. I'll put it on, and so they're all tapped. We'll see how that works. Well, there it is. I swapped it over. Yeah, it's a little low, actually. I guess I slipped when I marked the holes, but it's flush with the bottom, so no, I ain't worried about it at all. But there's the 2 holes that it used to be in, and there's my 2 holes, and it's meant. And the wire comes out the right hole in the bottom. So, and it's right side up. So everything works. That's cool. 1 project down. Okay, I've been dreading this, but I'll get it done. Wiring. Okay, I come up with this harness I pulled out and I separated them. It's 2 of them. There's the other one right there, and those go to the left and right controls, and they just plug and play on that end. So it looks like they're going to fit underneath, and they're long enough to come up through and hook, which is kind of amazing, but they are. So those wires are all plug and play. They're all color coded. So I just got to hook them up. So that's no big deal. And the turn signals hook in right here underneath. And there's 2 wires coming to each side. And there's 2 wires coming out of here. Actually, there's 3 wires coming out of here. 2 of them are color matched, and the other one, I think, is the running light, but I don't know where that is. So that might be up in here. I'm not sure yet. So I got some figuring out to do, but that's basically it. So it don't look as bad as I think it is, so we'll see. So I'm working on the cables. This hooks into the bike underneath the gas tank, and this is 3/8 heat shrink tubing that the wires just barely fit in, but they do fit in. So I'm going to run that from up underneath the tank up to around the triple tree, and then the original black plastic shroud for the wires I kept off the other bike, so I'm going to run that up to the handlebars to match everything else. And what's cool is is this actually fits right over that heat shrink friggin' perfect. So that'll make a cool little transition. I may actually hit this with a torch and just shrink it a little bit, so it stays there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So that'll work. There's the rest of it. And that'll go up the handlebars. So cool. Plan comes together. Okay, I just got these taped together just to make sure everything goes to everything. Everything's cool. I had a problem I couldn't figure out, which was to the turn signal wire. Turn signal wire has a ground and a hot and a third wire, and there's no third wire coming out on the connection. So I'm like, what the hell? So then I figured it's a run light. So I traced it back. I went to the book, a wiring diagram, and it comes back to here. And the turn signals plug into right back here. And there's no two center pins, but right there is the blue wire. So I don't have the pins. For some reason they pulled the pins out of the connector. I don't understand why, but when they rewired those stupid Z-bars. So I don't have the right connector. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this wire off right there and right on the other side, and I'm just going to jump around that box with the blue wire. It'll accomplish the same thing, but I ain't got no choice. I don't have the right connector to put back in the clip, so that's what I'm going to do. This is that clip. You can see where they spliced the wires right tight to it, and for some reason they took out the center two. Center two have no clip in it. Now, why they did that, I really don't understand. They just could have cut the wires. But there's none in there, so I'm gonna have to go around that box. No big deal, but that's the last wire. Everything else, so I'm gonna start hooking stuff up. Okay, first connection, soldered piece of heat shrink. I'll slide over it. Solder, if you're gonna do wires, 40-60-10. It's 40-10-60 lead rosin core. Works real good. This is what I use for a solder gun, the Weller. It takes a while to heat up. I just tape the trigger on, keep it hot while I'm using it. So there you go. It works. It's a nice connection actually. So later. Well, there you go. All soldered together. Heat shrinked them. Tried to stagger them a little bit so they'll fit inside the tube. Not bad. Everything's right where it belongs. So I'll slide that tube up, put the clips on it, and that control's done. There we go. One side wiring done. Nice and clean. Runs right down the bar, hooks into the factory clips off my other bars. And there's a factory clip, and I'll get a little black tie for right there. I don't have any black ones at the moment. But anyhow, runs down through right there, right there, right there, right here, and plugs in right there. Boom, done. Runs behind the coil mount. Everything kind of tucks right in there, really nice, right in there. So anyhow, there's one side. Cool. I'm gonna tidy this side all up and then move on to the other one.